Hi everyone. Today we are discussing the requirement engineering process. So requirement engineering process having a various activity such as discovery and analysis and validation of the system requirements are done for a particular software development. So in this, discovery is identifying the technology or identifying the requirements from the stakeholders, and after completing the discovery of the requirement we can analyze the what are the requirement will be taken by the organization, and validation of the system requirements. So which type of system we are requiring for developing the software. So all the requirements can be identified by using your requirement engineering process. So next one, we are having a simple diagram for representing as a requirement engineering process. So in this first one, feasibility study. So feasibility study is for identifying the features and what are the requirement will having by the stakeholders. So after completing the study of the feasibility, and we can generate the report based on the feasibility. So after completing the feasibility study, that output will be given to the requirement elicitation and analysis. So in this requirement elicitation analysis, we are developing the system model. Parallelly, we are giving a requirement specification. So that requirement specification can be identified by the requirement validation. So requirement specification give the data to the user and system requirement, and requirement validation giving to the requirement document. So after completing the system model, user requirement and system requirement and requirement validation, all the output will going to the all the output will design for the requirement document. So after completing the requirement document, we can identify how the software will be developed and what are the requirement for developing the software product we can identify easily. So next one, we are giving a spiral representation of the requirement engineering process. So each and every phase we are starting with the feasibility study, and then user requirement elicitation, and then requirement identification. After identification, we are identifying the requirement elicitation and then modeling. So in this modeling, we are representing the prototyping concept. After identifying the model, after converting the prototyping model, we can provide the reviews to the user, or we are providing the reviews to the organization how the product will be developed. So next one is software engineering process. First one, we are representing various types of functions will be taken by the software engineering process. So in this first one, inceptions. So it is a specifying beginning of the software product. So it is a first phase for developing the project. So what is the main purpose of this inceptions அப்படின்னா means we are having a basic understanding of the problem. So second one, which people or who the people to provide the solution for the particular problem, and the next one is communication and collaboration between the customer and developer. So all the activities will be taken by the inceptions. So second one, elicitation. So what is the meaning of elicitation? It is identifying or discovering the requirement. So what is a requirement for discovering, and why it is a separate function for the software process means, so it is not an easy process because it having some difficulties. First of all, the customer will not have a sufficient knowledge to deliver the requirement to the organization, and also the organization will not able to easily communicate with the customer what their requirement, and also they are having some language problem or some communication problem, some mediator problem. So software engineer does not understand the stakeholder requirement, and also the if you are having some changes for a particular product, the customer will not having a satisfaction for the product. So these are the requirement phase. We are identifying the discovery problems. So overcome this problem, we can identify the requirement with all the aspects, and also we can get the requirement from various aspects. For example, if you are having a customer is a knowledge person or not, the software engineer can understand the customer language or not. So all the type of difficulties we have to rectify, we are providing the solution in the phase of elicitation. And next one, elaboration. So it will be expand and refine the requirement information for developing the software product. So the main goal of the elaboration activity is to prepare the technical mode of software function, features and constraints. So next one, negotiation. So negotiation means customer can or may demand more than one that can achieved. At the time we can't provide all the resource to the customer or all the resource to the organization, and also the organization will not able to satisfy the particular requirement for the customer. So at the time we can provide another solution or we can provide another feature to the product, and also we have to satisfy the customer with the help of your negotiation. Next one, specification. So what are the specification for the requirement engineering process? It may be a document, or it may be a model, or it may be a mathematical representation, or it may be a collection of user scenarios, or it may be a prototype. So in this document written, so once we are developing the document, we can easily identify what are the things will be happen in the document. And next one, we are having a models. So what are the models can implement in the representation? So we are providing these set of models means predefined models to the user. And next one, formal mathematical. So if you are having previously we are having any mathematical oriented product, at the time we can utilize the mathematical calculation from the previous project. And also user scenario. So what are the scenario will be used for the user, and we are providing the prototype. So these are the representation of specification. And then validation. So after completing all the process in the requirement, we can validate how the process requirement will be satisfied. So we can validate how long it should be. Likewise, we have to validate our requirement from the starting phase to ending phase itself, only in the requirement phase. So each and every phase having a validation. Based upon the phase, the validation techniques will be varying. So first of all, in this requirement, what are the mechanism will be taken care, error in the content should be avoided, and what are the area and what are the classification may be required, missing information, where the information is missing, that should be identified by the validation, and inconsistency between user or maybe organization we can identify by the validation, and the unrealistic data and unrealistic requirements can be avoided by using your validation. So what are the requirement management? So after completing all the process, or after getting all the information, we need to manage all the type of information or all the type of people who are all involved in the particular project. So it should be a requirement management. So it is a changing the requirement or modifying the requirement. So all the things will be happen in the requirement management phase. So in this already we are having a various types of representation. In this first one, feasibility study. So feasibility study is a study mode to dedicate a proposed system or worthwhile. The same thing, all the phase can be explained elaborately. Thank you.